Yep.
All right, perfect. Ready? 3, 2. What up, what up, what up? Another episode of Ball N Biz here. You two bros. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Jeremy. Welcome back again. Of course, we're going to be bringing you ball, because we're always talking about ball. Ryan and I used to play former D1 sports. And, of course, business, because we're always looking to get our bread and paper up as well as we, we're young 30s right now. And it's time to get that bread up. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Don't forget, as you watch us, give us a nice comment or a mean one, however we're doing. Let us know how we're doing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely follow the podcast, Jeremy. We started off with news and notes. We're going to start with sports today. Big congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Won the Natty last night in Atlanta. Definitely a new season, a new playoff format. We're going to talk a little bit about that later coming up. NFL Conference Championship is set. We got the Bills playing the Chiefs. They're going to KC. We got my Commanders going up to Philly, going up there. So Super Bowl picture getting a little bit clearer. We're going to talk a lot more about that. Quick news out of the NFL. Bears hire Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. We know he was the top name out there. Still a couple names floating out there too. The defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, Coach Glenn over there at the Lions. We know some of the other people. Bill Belichick name gets floated out there and there. Mike Vrabel, I guess it's the second hire because Mike Vrabel got hired by the Patriots last week. So a couple names off the board, only a couple left, but teams still needing their next leader. NBA Paris, your Pacers play the Spurs. First time the NBA plays 2 regular season games in Paris. So that'll be interesting. We know Hallie's been over to Paris quite a bit. We'll see if he plays a little bit more.
Hey, this is the first time we touched the Paris court, though, so we'll see what happens.
Flipping over to Biz. Man, Jerm, you missing the boat, man, because I already know you didn't buy no Bitcoin. Now it's at 106.
Woo! Dang.
Man, you better get – dude, you're just giving up free money.
Man, I am. I'm locked in on real estate.
All you got to do is buy it. You don't have to lock nothing in. Just buy it, and it goes up. You locked in. There's nothing to lock in for.
That's real.
And also, not only is crypto shooting, the market's shooting as well. Dow Jones up 500 points today. It's at 43.97. S&P at about 6,000. A lot of the markets rallying after President Trump shifted his tone a little bit on tariffs. They're going to be a little softer than he initially expected. Well, investors initially expected. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We don't talk too much politics. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up in the show too. Going on the tariffs though, Trump talked about tariffs in Mexico, Canada, China, and other trade partners. That's obviously going to make a lot of finances and put a lot of finances in flux. Trump also launched a meme coin while we're talking about crypto, made his family billions of dollars. Now, the average person can't just launch like a meme coin, but obviously these are all things to keep on the horizon. Because I'm telling you, like, you can make money real quick by literally just hitting purchase. Obviously you want to know what you're doing. I'm not telling anybody to go out and do anything or not, but, do your research. But, the crypto is shooting. Definitely the way to get in, if you're looking to get your money up and get a good investment platform. And then the TikTok ban. We talked a little bit about that last week. We know they got a lot of businesses out there on TikTok. It went dark Saturday night, then it went back up and running. Now they're kind of in limbo, as President Trump says he's going to save it, still be TBD on TikTok. But I know everybody's still talking about that. We talked about that last week. So definitely keep that in mind and keep your eyes on the horizon on what's next or they come back up. Now let's get back to the conversation. We're talking football, NFL playoff picture set, AFC championship game. Bills are going to the Chiefs. Commanders going to the Eagles. Bills and Chiefs, Jerm. You catch the games this weekend. What do you like about the matchup?
Of course. Not only did I catch the games, but I made some money while doing so. I hit big on the Bills and I hit big on the Eagles as well. Obviously, we're always talking about bets. I wanted to lead with that. But my first thoughts, Bills Chiefs, that is going to be interesting because I'm not convinced that the NFL doesn't want the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So I think the NFL is okay with the Chiefs losing, but I don't think it's in the script for the Chiefs to not be in the Super Bowl. You had Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark in the same booth. That's a lot of star power right there. And I don't think the NFL can, quote unquote, afford not to have your Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And also because the Texans were already outnumbered. They were already outmanned. They're down a lot of key players in Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. And obviously with the bad O-line, the Texans gave up 8 sacks, and they quite literally had, they couldn't do anything. But not only that, as a Colts fan, I was just very disappointed, and I don't want to get a harp on the ref thing too much, but it's so clear that the refs played a big role in that game and that Mahomes truly does get a lot of calls. And as a mutual fan, as I'm not a Texan fan, I'm not a Chiefs fan, I just know football and watch a lot of it. And it was just very blatant that the NFL really wanted the Kansas City Chiefs move on to the next round. So it was very disappointing, and I think the Buffalo Bills are going to face that same battle. Going into it, Josh Allen, you're not going to get the calls. You're not going to get them. Buffalo defense, you can't hit number 15 late because they're going to call it every time. Period. So you just kind of got to plan for that, and you got to be extra on your P's and Q's. Flipping over onto the NFC side.
We'll just talk about this game first for now.
Okay, yeah.
So you think the Bills are going to lose?
Yes, 100%. I don't. Yeah, I think it'll be close, but I don't see the Chiefs losing. I think the Chiefs are a better football team, barely, but I'm 100%. I'm like 99.9% sure that the Chiefs are going to win, solely because of just how blatant the NFL is treating the Chiefs right now. For sure.
And the Bills struggled to stop the run too. So if the Chiefs get up quick, it could be now the Bills obviously did stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson last week. So, all that
right.
to say, anything can happen. These are still NFL ball players, but and it's a rematch. At this point, we're gonna see so many rematches, whether it be Lamar, whether it be Josh Allen, whether it be the Chiefs versus Eagles, Super Bowl. There's only a handful of teams right there at the top. So we've seen the Chiefs and the Bills before. I like Josh. Josh is Superman. I mean, the line is set at 1.5, and I think that's for a good reason. I mean, they, these two teams are pretty tight right here. But, I like the Chiefs too. It's Pat. I'm not going against Pat until I see it happen, until I see him drop the ball in big games a couple of times. Yeah. So, he's built up to trust. I'm going with Pat. Travis has been there. Those wide receivers playing. Yeah, the refs get the call. They're not getting calls going against them. I'll say that. They are a little touchy with them. Chiefs. I mean, the line's like 1.5, so it's going to be a split, and it's going to come down to the fourth probably.
For sure.
Josh Allen has weapons. Amari come out nice. Keon Coleman. They were both battling some wrist issues, some little banged up issues at the end of the season. I think that was good for Josh to figure out different ways to win games. He's doing that now with the weapons. Keon Coleman, Amari, James Cook running the football like crazy. So it'll come down to it, but I think the Chiefs been there, done that. Josh Allen doesn't get over the hump again, at least not this time. But we're not going to be shocked if he does, though. Anything could happen. And the Chiefs, everybody's always like, oh, they don't look good, even though they just get the job done. So, whenever you kind of do that, you leave yourself a little bit exposed to, not being able to make that miracle happen. But, I got the Chiefs in there, too.
Yeah.
Especially after the game the Bills play. A lot of, the Bills could have lost, that game versus the Ravens. Mark Andrews, good God. My God, bad time. That's a bad time to have a bad game, big dog.
And that's not the first time. That's not the first time he's been
almost since 2019.
Well, I feel like, was it Mark Andrews last season or the year before? He had another big drop in the playoffs.
It might have been his playoff number.
He's not clutch. He's just not a clutch football player. He's just not clutch.
Yeah.
And to fumble twice and then come back to have to have that big fumble Mark Andrews had in the middle of the field after he made a great play, and then to have that drop 2-point conversion. I'm like, Mark, like you just said, it was a bad day to have a bad game.
I told you about that betrayal. You didn't believe me. He betrayed Lamar Jackson.
Man.
Lamar he threw one and then put one on the ground too. So
he did.
I can't totally say that. But and come on, he put it right on the numbers, dog. He hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands. Come on, dude. Gotta catch that. For the city. Yeah. I get it. But he just doesn't. His playoff numbers aren't what they could be, aren't his regular season numbers. I'll say that. And that really bit him in the butt there. But But yeah, we got Chiefs winning that one. That's Chiefs money line. I think we're both on the same page with that. Commanders versus Eagles. Now I told you about them Commanders. I told you they're coming. Hey, they're coming faster than even I thought, man. And
I didn't know that they were like that. Hey, I know you're over there in DC. That boy Jaden Daniels, I watched him in the LSU jersey, but that was the first time I actually got to sit down and watch him in a Commanders jersey. Because, I'm in Indy. They're not showing the Commanders here. Man.
Right. They said he trains, he goes through his film on like
virtual reality.
Virtual reality. I mean, like walking through what you're actually going to see is way better than sitting through and watching film, literally. So Jaden Daniels could be on to something, thinking of the future here, and hopefully nobody else catches on. But at the same time, he's balling right now. So
as much as I like Jalen Hurts, hey, you got to put up some points. 20 points ain't gonna cut it against the Commanders. I'm gonna tell you now.
Yeah, they got to get that. The Eagles got to get that passing thing figured out. AJ Brown over there reading books. Jalen over there, I don't know what he's doing sometimes. He was rusty, then he got hurt, and then obviously he's going to come back. Well, they weren't on the same page. Then they get on the same page. Then he gets the hurt, the 2 weeks with the concussion. Then he comes back. Now they're rusty. Obviously, that's explainable. He's coming back from injury, but, hey, you got to get to speed quick, big dog. You in the NFC Championship game, and they need you. And Saquon, luckily he has Saquon. Now, Saquon, you talk about making money. Yeah, I made it. Hey, them Commanders, between the Commanders and Saquon, I got the groceries paid for, I got the water paid for, I got the electric paid for, and we got the TV paid for. Yeah. And with something to spare. Hey, with something to reinvest. So, them boys done help me. They helped me out a lot. Oh, and Ohio State covering last night, covering that 8.5. Yeah, they definitely they funded the account a little bit too. They did their part.
Right.
But yeah, no, Jaden Daniels, 891 yards on the ground, 6 TDs, leading rusher. They got a couple good running backs, Brian Robinson from Bama and Austin Eckler. They came for the Chargers, but Jaden leading on the ground, 3,500 yards in the air, 25 TDs, QBR 72.3, and he's just a rookie. So it just goes to show, man, a lot of these teams are quarterback away. You're just a quarterback away. Man. Now I don't have the Commanders winning. They beat the Eagles a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like second to last or third to last game of the season, but that was when Kenny Pickett was in there. Jalen was hurt. And they only beat him by 36-33. Yeah. They lost to him earlier in the season, 26-18, when Jalen was playing. But that still ain't no blowout. And that was in Philly, where the game will be this weekend. So
the Eagles defense is real. That D line is real. That interior, Jalen Carter is real.
Nice. Yeah, Jalen Carter. They got a guy.
They're nice on the edges as well, cornerback, like they're nice. Nakobe Dean, that was a big injury at linebacker for sure. He's out for the playoffs. Yeah. But that defense on that Eagles side, they're no plaything for sure. But the Lions defense wasn't no plaything either, and he tore them up. So,
but the Lions defense, they were banged up. I mean, I don't even remember how many guys overall they had.
Yeah, they do.
But they were good. Even the guys they had out there, to your credit.
They're still good for sure. The Lions defense was no slouch. No slouch.
Commanders a little banged up too. I think they're a little banged up too. I mean, everybody's banged up at this point.
Yeah, everybody's banged
up. But I got Commanders. The Commanders covering. The line is. Let me see. What was the line again? It was. Let me look it up real quick because here we go. 6.5. They got that.
Oh,
Commanders are covering 6.5 points.
They got that.
And they already lost the other week. Look, we know this. And if Jalen can't throw, he might win. If Jalen's going to have to throw the ball, he's going to have to give me more than 200 yards.
Here's the thing. You're going to need at least 25 points to beat them, 30 points to beat them.
Yeah.
You're going to have to score the football. And if you can't score, the Eagles aren't going to win.
Yeah. So I'm taking this one, and this is my pick of the week. I'll say it again at the end, but my pick of the week, Commanders cover that.
Yeah,
6.5. So we'll take it. Yeah. We're moving on to other football. College game wrapped up. Great season overall. Big congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes once again. Ryan Day on the hot seat a month ago. Now all of a sudden he's the hero. That's crazy. That says something about these coaches. These coaches get a bad rap, man. His fan base just want to toss a guy out as soon as they see any sign of trouble. Dude, it's a process, man. It's a process. And, Coach Ryan Day, he didn't do his job. Sure, he lost to Michigan. We know what it's like losing to the rivals. This is a bad Michigan after Michigan won the Natty last year and had a bad season. Yeah, terrible time to lose that game. But, that man on the offseason came together. I think, according to USA Today, they got $220 million on payroll for NIL. So, they bought the team now. They bought the team.
Yeah.
Some of those guys homegrown, but they got other guys, too, they brought in, too, like Caleb Downs and even the quarterback, Will Howard. They got what what I mean? So they bought the team, but, they're a good squad. What do you think about the game last night? What do you think about Ohio State or the season overall?
Yeah, so I wonder if Ryan Day's more happy that he won, or is he or is it more of a sigh of relief that he gets to keep his job?
That's a good question.
Because it's like, man, I think this was that he won yesterday. I think it was more of a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
because he didn't. I even see in the post game, he didn't even seem like he was more like, oh my gosh, I just won the national championship. It was like, whoo, type of thing.
Yeah.
So, which I understand because Dan Orlovsky was talking about it on this morning on First Take. He was like, hey, look, they understand what they're stepping into when they take these jobs. Excellence is the standard, period. Big Ten championships are the standard. And number one is beat Michigan. They lost to them the last 4 times.
Not good.
Beat Michigan, win the Big Ten title, win the national championship. And it's not just make it to the college football playoff. That's not an accomplishment when you have $20 million worth of NIL roster with 11 returning NFL caliber players. So it's like the standard is the standard. And if you can't meet that, you're gone. Yeah. And so I understand that. And he understands that too. And as far as the game goes, I mean, Notre Dame was outmatched, as we knew. That's why the line was what the line was. Right. I know you put in some pregame bets, but I took an end game. I think I put in right after the first quarter, it was minus 10.5 Ohio State. I said, give me that all day because that's how the game was trending. And
you got a little nervous in there.
A little nervous. I needed that field goal at the end. And
you got a little nervous.
Hey, shout out to Jeremiah Smith for coming through on that like 40, 50-yard bomb. So that put us in field goal range to go and seal the deal. But yeah, I've been on this streak lately with these in-game bets, man. I'm up 1,000 this month just on all these in-game bets. And hey, like we tell you all the time, betting can be profitable. I'm walking proof of it for sure. So what'd you think about the game?
Yeah, no, I liked it. Notre Dame, we knew they were coming in banged up. We already knew they couldn't throw the ball. So if they got behind, they'd be in trouble. The quarterback he makes plays. That's what we said last week. He's a clutch player, but he's not a guy you can just turn it over to and say, hey, we need you to make 25. We're going to let you throw it 25, 30, 35 times a game. He's not that guy. As a matter of fact, I had a bet in that didn't hit. I had a few that hit, but I had one that didn't hit because I had Jeremiah. Who's the Ohio State wide receiver again? The freshman. I had him getting one, but then I took Jeremiah Love again. I went back to the well with that. Knowing he was banged up, I should have just took the quarterback.
He only got like 3 or 4 carries.
Yeah, and I knew he was banged up, but sometimes it's hard to tell too because I didn't know how many carries he get last time, and they still handed it to him. But
he was walking out there. He had that offensive tackle knee brace on. I said, "Oh yeah, he ain't running he ain't toting no rock tonight."
I thought they'd let him pound one in again from the one, but obviously,
you can't even bend your leg. You can't even bend your leg with them boys. Yeah, them offensive tackle knee braces on it. They can't even run.
Yeah, it was ugly. But like I said, they covered. That was my main deal. I need them to cover. They need them to hit the over, hit that, got paid. We're good, But it was a good. I mean, it kind of went how I expected. Notre Dame got down early. They're always going to make some plays. They're going to punch back. But if anything, I thought they played a little bit better defense overall. But result was the same. I expected them to kind of be right there. Ohio State definitely get some points up. Right. And he got hit the over. And, you talk about Ryan Day being tired. I'll tell you one thing as a fan. Now, I'm never going to complain. You can't have too much football. But I thought the playoffs overall was a little bit too long. Like, it was like, dang, we still playing to the point like, hey, conference championship weekend was December 7th. They finished the season on January 20th. That's a long time. Dang, a month and a half.
And especially – these boys, a lot of these boys are going to the combine next month in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And so they don't really have a lot of time to prepare. I mean, they got to run a 40 in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it went to run a 4, and I'm just talking about from an NFL standpoint because a lot of these guys are NFL caliber.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So if you're going to make it this long, let's push the combine back, which has to now you have to put the draft back and all that type of stuff. I get it. That's not enough time for 40 training, for 225 bench press training, for 3 cone drill training. They need to push something back for sure. Because I agree.
They need to condense it down. They need to be playing football. They need to play a championship game like January the 7th.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Condense the games down. I like the home field advantage that week 1. I like that. And I definitely keep that. But if you had that first round bye, you were off dang near like 3 weeks if you were the conference champion. That's too long. And that's why all the top seeds lost. Well, one of the reasons, not all of them. Boise was never really going to win that game.
I remember in college, we had like a week and a half, 2 weeks off before we played Tennessee State. And I was like, dang, I forgot how to play football. Like, that's a long time.
A week off, good. 2 weeks off, too much.
Yeah.
Week and a half at most, because it's just too long. And then the guys are getting rusty where you got another team coming in still more on a regular routine. And we saw, the proof is in the pudding. All those 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them lost. Like I said, Boise was never going to beat Penn State in my mind. But, some of the other ones, it was just like they didn't have a chance because, like Oregon, Ohio State. Or no, they didn't play Ohio State. Or did they play Ohio State? I can't remember now. But, Oregon lost.
Oregon, you mean in the college football playoff?
Yeah.
Ooh, who did Oregon lose to?
No, I'm pulling them back up now. Hold on, I'm pulling back up now. Here's the bracket. Okay, semifinal. No, we hit the quarter. Yeah, Oregon, Ohio State. Ohio State trounced them 41-21.
Okay, because Oregon got them in the regular season.
Notre Dame beat Georgia 23-10. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas beat Arizona State. You kind of saw that one coming. Penn State beat Boise. You kind of saw those two coming. But 41-21, Oregon beat Ohio State in the regular season.
Right, smacked them too.
So it's like, it's too long. Condense it down, more games in. I know, especially with the timing, you're going to have some mix in with the NFL and this and that. But hey, you got to figure it out. It stretched too long. I did like the home field. I did like the extra games. That format needs to change. Some looking at some of these teams, Boise should have got no dang bye. Come on now. And we like Ashton Genty and all that, but come on, that shouldn't have happened. And Arizona State shouldn't have gotten a bye either. Over some of these.
I think they're going to continue to change it a little bit every year for sure.
Yeah, and get the formula right. I do like that. I'd even be cool with going to a format where you only got 2 teams with a bye. Obviously, overall, I did like it. I liked it a little bit better than I honestly thought I would, but just gotta speed it up. Some dang, it's 20. It's too long. It's dragging on, man. This thing there. Come on, it's dragging on now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have any live looks this week. Nobody going to the game. I don't have any Wizards coming up. You don't have any Pacers or anything. Pacers in Paris, like we talked about. That'll be good.
Pacers in Paris. We tuned in though for sure.
Let's switch over biz real quick. I know it's not a long topic we're going to discuss, and obviously everybody, I'm sure, feels one way or the other about President Trump now back in office. But we just want to give a quick note, whether you're feeling good, whether you're feeling bad, just remember, outside of making money, entrepreneurs' main characteristic is adaptability. So, whether crypto's shooting, okay, hey, maybe I should look over here. Maybe real estate's more available. I don't know. I'm gonna look this way, but don't be mad at you can be mad and you can feel however you want to feel about anything. But at the end of the day, if somebody's gonna make the rules of the games, the best thing you can do is go play it. Now you can complain whatever all you want, but at least be making money while you complain. That's only my thing. So figure out what the ways you can still win, get money, put bread on your table, put bread in your pocket, and do the however else you please, however else you please.
Mm-hmm. Well said. You got to adapt to whoever's sitting in that office. So, hey, whether it was Biden, whether it was Trump, whether it was Harris, who cares? Get your bread. Just adapt.
Yeah. Bet of the week, Commander 6.5. I'm taking. They're going to cover that. You got anything?
Yeah, I'm going to take. Let me pull up my DraftKings sports book. I'm going to take just Chiefs money line. Yeah, it's at -125 right now. Chiefs money line all day. I'll even put that. I'm so confident in that. I'll even put that in pregame. which goes against my my betting rules typically. But I put that in pregame because I'm that confident.
Okay, perfect. Chiefs money line, Commander 6.5. A lot of happenings going on. I like the over in that game too. There's probably going to be a shootout.
For sure.
How those two guys like to get together. Saquon's probably going to have another good game too. I can bet he's on fire right now, and you know, they're really that Eagles offense really leaning on him to you know, keep the ship afloat while they get that pass game really settled out and Jalen back up to speed, so back healthy too. So we're going to talk a lot more business too coming up in these next couple of weeks. I know while we mentioned Trump, he's going to have a lot of things on the horizon that's probably going to change the landscapes, a couple of things financially. We need to have a crypto chat. You're not looking at my portfolio, dog. I'm telling you. I do. How much I made in like a month, you'd be like, oh, okay. All I did was literally hit buy.
I'm going to say that's why we have this, because I'm going to have you school me on it. I'm going to be like, hey, how do I do this? Because I don't know. I'm a beginner. So I know a lot of you guys are beginners as well. I'm not an expert in real estate, but I know more than most people, and I own a lot of real estate. But I'm not an expert in crypto. So I think, you know, somebody who like you, Ryan.
We need to get an expert on here. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I mean.
Well, you know more than most people.
Yeah. And you know, for the average person, the thing that I like about crypto the most, it's not like a stock where you got a company and this and that. All you do is buy something. It's either going up or it's going down. You know
what app do you use?
Coinbase. Pretty popular, pretty popular. But honestly, you can get crypto on Venmo. You can get crypto on Cash App.
See, look, I didn't even know that. I
mean, the basic one, you know, you get Bitcoin, you know, basic ones, you know, Coinbase, you can get a whole bunch of them. But, you know, honestly, if you just rode Bitcoin, like I said, we did the episode a couple of weeks ago, it was at 90. It's at 106 right now.
I can buy it on Venmo right now.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't even know where to start, but that's why I got you. Perfect.
I mean, dang. We'll talk. We got to get an expert on here. We got to get some people up to speed before it really starts shooting, because Trump, they say, you know, it's really a lot of people voted for him, expecting him to bring it into the forefront and really let it take off. So, so far it's doing well. We'll see how well we can do. But that's all this week for Ball N Biz. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Once again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, give us a comment. Let us know what you want to hear. Something we're not talking about, sports, something we're not discussing, whether it's business, something you want to learn more on. We can find the experts, bring them on. Eventually, we're trying to get some interviews up here, get more experts like we were talking. But, you know, for now, we need your support. Appreciate you tuning in.
Peace.